All right, how's it going? Cole Campbell here with Hitting with the Nation, and today we have an amazing VP. A lot of requests for how to cut the ball, so today we have some of the best cut swing guys in the biz. We have Mike, Nino, and Mac Rio. We got all kinds of stuff going on here. They got new monster bats that are coming out, so that they're preparing for that. And so we're gonna get to it. We got all kinds of crazy players today. The Euless Major is in town, and so we got a lot of my teammates from Straight Play. We got Roxby out here from DeMarini. We got Jonesy from Louisville, Ike from Juneau. We got Miz, we got Billy, and then Nino, Mac Rio. It's gonna be a fun VP. We're gonna learn how to cut the ball real good tonight. So make sure you're taking notes and stay tuned to the end. So here we go. There you go. Finally got into one, bud.
I got off the handle. Probably good enough for 20,000 quick now.
That'll go.
So everybody wanted asking for this cut swing. Why is that the most popular swing?
You know why it's the most popular swing.
But
It looks pretty. You saved the home run for Cory behind you.
Right, but you know what? When I'm hitting, I don't feel like I'm cutting the ball. I'm just attacking it good.
Yeah, but that's years of cutting it.
Yeah.
And then now it's just natural. Like when I'm hitting off the tee and I'm trying to get good velos, every time they're like, dude, you're just cutting it too much.
Yeah.
You're not getting fast velo. And I feel like I'm just going straight through it. And then I go back and watch the video and I'm like.
Best advice Cole Campbell ever gave me, VP with a purpose. Anybody come out here and hit 52 home runs in a row, VP with a purpose. Work on shit. Have a three swing, a swing that no matter what, no home runs, no matter what you do, Nino's drop, that's going to stay in. If you're out of home runs, if you've got to get a base hit, have a swing. Work on stuff like that.
He just hit 50 home runs, by the way, too.
Yeah.
And I love that fool.
There.
Yeah, that was a bomb.
What up, boy? You looking good, boy. No Diddy.
Go faster, not stronger. Just recording. There it is. All right, this is Ike Too Big Worlow. From Ohio. Ike, why do y'all say too big?
Infield holes.
Infield holes are too big.
Because the holes are too big.
Ike's real good at base hitting. I'd say he cuts the ball too. When you step up to the plate, what do you do to walk so much?
I'd say I try to put my front foot, my back foot at the front of the plate so that way I can eliminate all the short pitches.
So anything that makes you feel like you're about to have to reach, you know it's a ball.
Right.
You got any tips to cutting the ball? Is it your natural swing? Did you have to learn it?
I think I taught myself it for sure.
Do you go with pitch most of the time for direction?
No. I try to wait for the pitch that I'm looking for.
Okay.
Last one. When they get to talking about home runs, then we'll get over to you.
All right. You know you got to cut it, cut it, cut it.
Hey, somebody's got to get on base for you guys.
Yeah, man, I think I cut it.
I think so.
At least that's what everybody says.
I think so for sure.
I found out that I used to do it a little bit more, but honestly, the cut swing for me was kind of causing me more problems than it was doing good sometimes.
Right.
Because when you learn it at the like D and C and even B level, you can burn some outfielders because they'll misread it. But I mean, people at the conference level, you know, they know. They sit back, and so some of my cut swings, I mean, you hit them 5 feet off the ground, and then they just stay up long enough for the outfielder to make a diving play on it. So I've morphed it a little bit to only use like a cut in a certain like time, right? Like if I'm cutting a home run, or depending on how the wind is, or if I can cut a ball through the infield, but it's aiming towards the ground. It's not really aiming like head level.
Right.
You know. My chain.
Yes.
Where my perm? Hey, where my perm? God. Ooh.
Hey, they think, Coach, some people think it's a game about that chain, bro.
Hey, look who we got here. 2K.
You don't know about that.
Campbell.
It was the grand. Now it's the $2,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, instead of 2 chains.
Hey, if you jump into you, you pick up a
$2,000.
ball yet.
$2,000.
I'm gonna freestyle while Mac Rio's hitting.
Here, man.
Do you do BP with cones? Or
no,
or
so
do you
I
just
use
kind of guess spots?
I use a bat and I sit it out. Probably, I'll map the infield out around the pitcher's mound. 4 bats, about right over
Like lines, like straight.
No, like this.
Okay.
And then I always take my first couple swings, trying just to hit the ball anywhere near that bat.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you want it, you know, you 1-hop it, you 2-hop it, you 3-hop it. As long as you're hitting it in front of the bat, you know you're swinging down.
When I tell people to aim for gaps, I tell them to aim for head level of the infielders.
Yeah.
You know, because if you aim for the gap, then your trajectory is way higher than you want it to be. That's going to create pop-ups or home runs.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, like you're saying, for infield holes, you know, you almost have to aim like pitcher's mound depth.
Yeah, because if you
across the infield.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you, because the ball is going to come off good. The balls fly.
Yeah.
So as long as you're aiming short, swinging hard.
What was the first thing you did to learn a cut swing?
The first thing, obviously, is I seen somebody else do it, and I was like, wow. And then I think I started with this bat drill. I've probably done this bat drill for probably about 12 years. I've started with this bat drill, and really that's probably the biggest thing that got me to probably, you know, gain the ability to be able to cut every
And when
swing.
you say bat drill, you're talking about putting them in the infield? That one?
Yeah,
Or is
I'll
there
show
a-
you one as soon as Miz is done here. I learned that keeping my hands around my chest, if not even below my chest,
Just when you're starting?
just when you're starting, helps you keep it level. So that was a big thing I changed in my stance. And then obviously, I think like a shorter step allows you to not have to worry about as much movement and all that stuff, because I feel like the most important thing is just to keep your hands level. So
And your body upright.
right, your body upright is kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
But-
if you get out here,
Right.
then that's really hard to
Yeah.
cut down through the ball.
Yeah, you definitely want to be in front, everything in front. You know, you want to contact everything before the plate. And I feel like that has a lot to do with the walks that I get, because I'm always looking to hit the ball 2-3 feet out in front of the plate. So I'm making my mind up probably a little bit faster than some of the other guys that are hitting. But you go in the, pick a hole, 5-6 hole, probably around, no, you're good. Think that looks good?
And this might change for people that don't play in a 5-man infield, right? 5-6 hole would be a little bit more towards second base, but since most of the time we're playing in a 5-man infield and they're stacked strong on one side or the other, you're gonna have to hit it right next to the third baseman's hand side or glove side, but because The
So-
staggering goes shortstop is way deep, third baseman is closer. So that hole is really small, actually, even though they look like they're 15 feet apart.
So I'll start my round, and I'll just worry about
And you're trying to hit it. You're trying to hit the
in
ground.
front of the bat, anywhere in front of the bat. Yeah, you're all right though. Anywhere in front of the bat, usually over the bat's a hit, so you don't always have to hit it the hardest. And as long as you hit it, it doesn't matter if it 1 hops, 2 hops, 4 hops. As long as you hit it in front of the bat, you know you're swinging down. And then you obviously, if you gear it up a little bit up into the 70-80% range and still aim in front of the bat, your body usually allows you to level yourself out. It's a little deep, you're all right.
Yeah, and realistically, like that might have even got through the infield.
But see,
Yeah.
you aim in front of the bat
Yeah.
and you get, your body doesn't necessarily let you go all the way down. And then if you do hit it in front of the bat,
How awesome.
I mean, that's a succeed because you hit it where you were trying to.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, if you take that same thing here,
And you'll do about 4 bats in
I'll
different spots.
I'll line them up basically in that circle. Take about 10 swings each.
This is a really good tip. So
And then if you obviously you're aiming in front of the bat, it doesn't necessarily let you
And I'll say when you start trying to look for spots, don't look at the spot. You know where the spot is in the back of your mind. You don't want to take your eye off the ball to look at the spot. Like watching the ball is always number one most important, and your body will go to that spot that you're thinking of.
Then obviously I'll do that side.
Yeah.
Do the 4-hole. Hey, let me get like 5. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
swing it easy, normal.
Do you?
5 more.
That's good enough right there. That's good. Let your hands follow your back hip.
Hey, right beside you.
And your eyes are so
Yeah,
good.
right beside you.
Thank you, Ike. All right, what started your cut process?
My cut process?
Yeah, like how did it start?
Okay. So believe it or not,
All right, we'll
I
get you to you in a sec.
I didn't do a lot of a cut swinging or nothing like that, but I think for me, what generated my cut swing was once I started overlapping, which pretty much was probably about a year before I actually went into the conference circuit, which is my rookie year, really going into like the major with Dan Smith and stuff. That year that I actually got picked up, I started practicing it, the overlap, and then the cut swing just kind of fell into place with the overlap. So.
But you have a very aggressive. You load your wrists downward.
Yeah.
And then you come back up. But why so aggressive? I know you hold the bat really low to start, but is that just how when you picked up a bat, that just came naturally?
Yeah, to be honest, it kind of just came natural with it, man. Like for some reason, just like started doing it, and I felt like the timing for me is like when I wiggled and when I seen the ball coming, it just helped me with timing. So I've actually learned how to do it because it actually works out for the Judy too. You know what I'm saying? When I do this, I feel like it takes people off guard. I'm like, okay, is he gonna Judy? Is he gonna do a back step? I'm kind of loading up. So I kind of just put that into my tricks, I guess you could say. So the more I kind of started practicing it, it kind of like generates power for me. It's weird to say that, but like when I'm wiggling, I finally come up and then I'm coming this way, or I'm also coming this way and Juding. So it like kind of throws the defense off a little bit.
All right, so
Brought back an
Roxby
old school name, Twisted Mistress.
Yeah, they killed it with that.
swings the DeMarini. This is the new DeMarini.
Twisted Mistress. Jeremy Yates' bat. This thing's,
He was killing it at the duel.
Yeah, it was.
this thing's another level, man.
That boy was
So
hitting
you
that
kind
thing.
of cut the ball too. We just watched you cut it. Where did you start, and how would you say if someone wants to learn how to cut the ball would be like the first thing they need to put into their swing or practice?
T-work. T-work is the number one thing for me, and I'll say it over and over and over again every time. T-work, and it's going with T-work with a purpose. So like, let me grab a ball real quick.
I hate T-work, by the way. I suck.
When I hit off of a tee, I use the laces to hit with. So like, so when you set this on top of the tee, I put it this side up. So whenever I'm coming in, I'm trying to come with my plane hitting this bottom lace and cutting through to create straight backspin. And it doesn't really matter so much where the ball goes. You're looking for that rotation on the ball. And as long as you get that backspin rotation, that's where it all started for me. And then when you apply it to the field, trying to hit those balls that don't get higher than the tee height, and barely make it out of the infield. You know what I mean? And just kind of touch that grass. Just
Did you have to start lower and then work your way up to a higher tee? Did you just pretty much do the same stuff? Because when I first started, I was in like a batting cage, and I was like I'd start with a really low ball, so I could just like practice like throwing my bat down at that low ball, and then to be able to hit the spot on that ball while throwing the bat down to make it go straight. And once I did that, then I could bring it a little higher.
I went the other way.
You started
Because
high?
I started high, because the way that I thought about it is if I could hit this one down, then I can hit all the rest of them down, because the other ones are lower. So you're getting them at a lower point anyway. So for me, I actually started up around my shoulder and then started lowering it down.
That's what KP said. He goes, just put it right about here and try to cut it head high.
And that's how I started with it too. And then, you know, my backside swing, I put the laces like this and I hit the inside lace to try to create that sideways
So
spin.
you try to create that spin on purpose when you're going backside?
Yep.
So mine just happens naturally because my hands drag, you know, as you're pushing it.
I actually practice that specifically to do that myself. And that's why most of the balls I hit that way do this, you know?
Hit.
I haven't swung them yet.
Okay, dude, I didn't know. I thought
Yee!
I thought y'all had already.
First actual swing on the bat?
Do you have Android? I mean, do you have iPhone?
If you have looked at cutting, you have seen probably some Mac Rio videos off the tee. How do you hold the bat?
Well, it depends on like what's the situation.
So you change your grip based on situation?
I change my grip based on the situation it's in. So if I want to go full lift, I do something like it's an overlap 2 down.
Okay.
Right? This what allows me to get straight backspin. It's still here, but it lets me create a backspin. This right here.
So do you drop any?
It's
No,
kind of
all right.
like this, even with the knob.
All right.
So
Bottom
this
pinky's
controls everything. So this top here just giving me the backhand. So if you look at 80% of the softball players and the good hitters, you see they do something similar. Some down here. What this creates backspin for me.
I'm 1 off, 1 over. So I'm a 1
Okay,
and
so
1.
you 1 off on 1 down here. 2 strikes got to be. I'm here.
That's a little bit more control.
This for sure. I can hit the ball line to line like this. But like say if somebody pissed me off and I'm trying to do something extra, I got this what I call my 1K grip, and I go not like regular golf here. I go a step up and I go here. And I was able to create probably 10 to 12 MPHs off the bat. And I'm like, I was onto something, and I just started looking at all my videos, and the furthest, hardest hits, I was here. But only thing here, just like you know, you might get too much cut and you can beat it down. And if you could have just stayed smooth, you could have hit it far or however you want. But what this does, it creates me to hit the ball harder.
So what I've seen whenever, like, and if people don't know, like, okay, if they're just doing like traditional grip, first thing I would do is rev back your top hand like you're revving a motorcycle. So when you stick up both pinkies, it makes field goal. What that's going to do is it's going to allow you to go farther through the zone before your wrists have to rotate over each other. And that's basically the same thing as dropping a finger and overlapping grip, is because when you go through the process of your swing, you can get all the way past before my hands have to rotate over. If I'm grabbing traditional, I get here and then now my bat rotation. So you're talking about this slows down your swing speed because you go whoop.
Yeah.
So if you're overlapped, you can go all the way through without slowing your bat down. Where do you start off with your hands in your body? Like a lot of the people have been saying, like low down on their hips.
But I'm just belly button to chest, belly button to chest. So, but I think either whatever's comfortable for you, whether it's up and down, back and forth.
And that's your load while the ball's in the air.
Yeah, so it's slow pitch. I have nothing but time. So I'm either back and forth, and they juking. The more they juke, the more I lock in. For me, and I just do what I want.
Yeah, I was talking to Nino about that because he has a really aggressive.
Yeah, so what he's doing, he's timing everything so he can throw like fall on the ball. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and I think the motion of like a cut swing is kind of like this down motion.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it beforehand, you load the wrists almost with a similar movement, and then you come up and then back down through the ball.
Yeah,
so
it's
you're
like
timing.
we own so many different like reps and swings. You know what you're doing. Once you see the pitch, you like, okay, that's it, and it just not trying to do it too much.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the only way you get stay balanced.
Yeah, you still have to.
Yeah. The struggle I have is I'm really trying to spin it like 4 foot off the ground in a spot, and I go out and get it like this. Then it's always like pop up in the infield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same there. Like anytime like good hitters that you do the best. If you see, we all got something in common. Everybody got their own little back wiggle and hand movement. Nobody's never here because it's not a 90-mile fastball coming. So you have nothing but time, up and down, back and forth, and just do what works for you, man. And that's all I tell people, man. What works for me, this swing might not work for everybody, but it works for me.
Try it. And when you try new things, know that there's going to be a learning curve, right?
Yeah,
you will always go back to what's comfortable, and if you're not ready to go through a little bit of a slump, then you'll never create change because it's going to go down, and then once you catch on to that, then you'll go back up.
Yeah. So I'm short, so I want to be hard at the plate, off a little to go here, or here with no matter any pitch. I feel like I can hit it
pretty
anywhere.
Neutral spot. You're a little far off the plate, I would say.
Okay, well I'll be here.
That's where you normally is?
Yeah, right. This is where I'm at.
Yeah.
So to make sure I'm here.
There you go, got your hands into that one. That was at the lights, yeah.
Nice little line drive for you backside. How about that one, Coley? So in the box, why I'm so deep is because you get those pitchers that throw those short ones, and the short one is perfect for me to Judy. But I also like the short ones to go down third base, you know what I mean?
So let that go to show you that every swing, as long as you practice it and you can do what you want to do, like there's no one way to hit a ball.
Look at that. Just like that. That was awesome. Did you throw a curveball? What did you do there? This is stupid. This one piece is unbelievable. The two piece is not bad either, though, I'll tell you that.
So I'm going to try the one piece tantrum 2, and when I'm cutting the ball, I make sure that my hands are starting low. I have one pinky off, one pinky overlap, and then I do have like a little preload timer. And then I finish below the ball. In my head, I'm thinking that I'm swinging almost down, but when you swing it, it ends up being pretty level. All right, y'all ready to hit some bombs? Get the mic over here, Nino. We're hitting some bombs. Okay, so we're done, and Billy's the only one left shagging. We were trying to do some videos for you guys, and we weren't very good BP buddies. We didn't do a lot of shagging. I didn't do any shagging, which is not cool. Giving you our information, telling you what we know. Again, this cut swing is something that you need a lot of practice with. It's a spot on the ball that you're trying to hit. It's not all how your swing looks. It's not all the downswing, because a lot of it is where you hit the ball, right? You have to hit center of the ball while swinging down, and you'll put that center on a line with backspin. You get under it with the backspin, then hopefully you're getting that floating home run. But it's a process, and I hope that this helps if you're trying to learn how to cut swing and put that as a tool in your bag. So we are done for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this BP, and we will see you next time.